People, Deluded, I'm back again. I asked you for some questions in relation to a Q&A away from football. So let's go through some. Any idiotic ones, we're obviously going to air, people. But let's crack on. One has said, there isn't one cure in my opinion, but what are some changes that need to happen to drastically reduce knife crime in the UK in your area? I try to stay away from this because you know yourself, my guy, ignorance is very bliss, especially, let me not lie, I can guarantee some of my viewers are ignorant and you've got to look at it from both sides. Listen, everybody's got to take accountability. My way would first and foremost be, you know, I'm not going to say youth clubs and all of this stuff would help, but I think that's the easy answer. For me, it's about imploring people to think differently. Like, it sounds sad, but I genuinely believe, and again, something needs to be done to help them. But I'd say kids as young as 12, 11, they can change. But more time, when you hit secondary school, it's done. It's all about changing the primary school ones, changing their thinking, making them think, even if they want to do the gangbanging thing, so they can see what happens at the end, what happens to being a real guy. Because I've got friends like that, unfortunately, it's nothing to be proud of. They're 20 plus years in the can. That's dead. 23-hour bang up. Everybody knows when you take a poo, you're smelling the next man's poo. Half the guys saying free you are not writing to you. Your canteen's low. Your mum could be ill and them things there. You can't do nothing to go her. You have to beg the warden and these guys to let you go on a funeral for family. More time you can't even go. If you go, you've got, you know, you're handcuffed and whatnot. It's dead. Even things like now, God forbid, but imagine being in prison with the coronavirus. You're a sitting duck. You can't do shit. You can't get out of it. So I'd say showing people what actually happens, showing people what being a real guy does, what it gets for you, what the paranoia you get. You get paranoid, you know, you get the mental and physical battle wounds. You see that people are fake. You know, you go through all of this and the same, more time, the realest ones, we all know in life, you do things for guys that won't do nothing for you. Much man that probably ride out for guys that will beat their girl if they beat their girl and stuff if they ever got locked away for a stretch. It's about showing people this is what being a... If you still want to do that, then cool, but this is it. It's not the glamour. And of course, it's cool when you're in a batch and a gang and all these things. It's cool to feel untouchable. But be bad on your ones. And being bad on your ones don't mean being no gangbang and stuff. It means being you. So I'd say imploring people to just see what happens and just get out. It's dead. Like, why would you want to do that? It's dead. But with poverty, with lack of investment, with social pressures, with example, remembering what it was in school, and I see the social pressures, how many of that things can change? I don't know. What I do know is that there's not one quick fix. What I do know is there's not one answer. And we have to take accountability. The man that rolling with knives and that, I'm not going to sit here and say put it down. Like, I'm not going to say I want you to put it down. But logically speaking, just because you want to jump off, it doesn't make sense. Imagine it, people. Let's just say me and you and whoever's listening to this, we get into a madness. You've stabbed me, whatever, you know, you've beat me up on the roads, you've done whatever you want to do. You're up, right, we're rival gangs. You know, it's been 5, 10 years or so. You've said F this gangbanging team. You've got a because this happens. You've got a family, you know, you've elevated, you've got a job or a business. You're just behaving like a normal guy now. You've evolved mentally. You're not evolved on that. You're not on that stuff. Just because you're not on that anymore doesn't mean that me, who you did that to 10 years ago, I've mentally glowed up, I've forgiven you for doing that, or I've let it slide. I might just say, F it, you know, you're with your you and them things, yeah? Ching, shing, and it's done. This is the thing. You can't tell man, put that, it's like the J Hus thing, everyone's calling me an idiot for rolling with that knife. Probably shouldn't have been in Stratford, and I don't condone it, but I'm saying I understand it. You'd rather get caught with it than without it. It's like them guys in Iraq. They've made their bed, they have to lie in it. Like, England's a small world, you know. Like, you could be a gangbanger, you could move to Derby, have a new life. All it takes is to buck one pagan and it's done. So I don't know, man. I don't think there's one answer. I'd say, if we can just say, like, with me with football, one thing I'd like to do is, if I could, then eventually run little coaching classes and try and make people agents, or try and make people coaches, or try and make people ballers, and if not ballers, just, you know, little things where you're not involved in that. Because I say in London, like anyway, it's easy to get caught up in madness, and there's different reasons why man have jump on the roads. I've seen man have jump on the roads because they've been, you know, good youths, you know, getting pricked, and they just don't, they're tired of it. They've just been waste men their whole life, so they jump on it and they get gassed off the fame and the crowd, but they're not bad on their ones. The most jarring. I know some people that accidentally fell into it, literally, because they live there, people seeing their face, they've done something to them, they've got to react to it, sort of thing. Some man might not be on that at all. They get into a scrap, it is what it is. Or what happens and people forget, if I've got an older brother or younger brother or whatever, and I'm a civilian, and he's keeping up a crud, man are coming for me, you know. That's the error I come with. People are coming for you, so you got no choice. There's different reasons, and obviously there's some people that need to get peas and stuff, and we can sit here and say jobs and this and that and the other, but there's many different reasons why people fall into that trap, and I like to be careful with these conversations. Like, I can tell you're a sensible man. You're a sensible man, but just under your comments, you see dumb stuff. And I would say, just under the comment you've made, I can see a stupid comment from someone. And I would say as well, one thing I find weird, and you can't stop it, is these, you know, with this whole social media, you got blogs that follow who poked up this one, who stabbed this one, the scoreboards and stuff. It's like, it's mad weirdos, because these are youths that have never stepped foot in this thing, and they just see it as a video game, really and truly. It's weird. So them sort of things. But how much can this culture stop? Because you look at many shops, they're capitalizing on this. Run the streets, the this, the that. It is what it is. And I would say, you know what, people might as well try this music thing as well. Anything to get out. So I'd say that. You also asked, aside from football, what are my other interests? I'd say civil rights, I'd say recessions and current affairs and things like that. Motivational sort of stuff, like Gary Vee sort of stuff. Reading and stuff. I like to party, I like to listen to music, especially the bashment and the dancehall. So I'd say that, but football's number one, my dude. Rizzy Balls has said, fulfillment and love have been on my mind a lot recently. When it comes to football, gyal, work, dreams and aspirations, I find sometimes I'm losing pleasure and fulfillment from things I love, in brackets football, and perhaps forcibly gaining fulfillment from things I don't, as a result of circumstances. Do you ever find it difficult to stay focused on what you love as a result of circumstances changing the goalposts in front of you? What do you do to refocus yourself? Of course, my guy, of course, like, literally got to refocus the camera now. But of course, my guy, of course, we all do. Do you know, like, it's almost like me being a football manager with this YouTube stuff. You know, tactically we're improving on the ground. That being, how can I make the videos different? How can I get results? You know, can I see it happening? Of course I lose. Of course I lose motivation, focus and things. One thing I do, and I keep saying it to you lot, yeah, recognize when you're feeling sad or angry and act accordingly. Like, when I'm feeling sad or vexed, I recognize, I'm like, DG, you're not in the best of mood. Let's take 5 minutes, feel sorry for ourselves, and let's stop being a bitch and get back to it. Do you get it? So I'd say that. And I'd say for me, I don't know if it will help you, but when I go through that, I accept and I say to myself, listen, man can sit here and feel sorry for myself and what's happened and the goal's changing, or I can try react to it. It's not my fault why this has happened, but how can I react to it? With the new information available to me, how can I react to it? Because the world is going to keep spinning. And I just feel I've got resilience. Like, I always feel battered and bruised, but I couldn't quit. And that got me punched up a lot of times by all the kids and stuff, people, because I can't back down. I'm not an idiot, but I can't back down. And I say with that, it helps with this. So I'd say just remembering the end goal, remembering what you want, remembering visually where you want to be and what it comes. For me, I like to think about my loved ones as well. If I don't necessarily want to do it for myself, think about what I can do for them, and I always remember it's bigger than me. So I'd say that, my guy, man. Just just keep your eyes on the prize. Remember the end goal. Remember what you want. Remember the positive connotations with that. And I let that consume me. Like, I'm always thinking about the man I want to be tomorrow, the qualifications I want. And it genuinely keeps me up at night and pains me every day that I'm not there. So I try and make a move. Do you get it? And it's always as well, I've always learned as well, stop always judging progress on big steps. Don't think everything's progress, but don't judge it on big steps. You know, like, let's say I've got 20k subs today. I might have 21k tomorrow, sort of thing. That's progress. But I might look at that and say that's dead, and only get gassed off if it went from 20 to 25 or 30. So sometimes don't always look at, I think the saying is, don't always look at the fruits you harvest. Sometimes look at the plants you've planted, sort of thing. So I always think, like, what have I learned today, or learned a small percentage of today that puts me in a better place for tomorrow than I was yesterday, sort of thing. And it's just about reacting, man. Like, if something, you know, I don't know, if you're researching something, your Wi-Fi locks off, you're not in trouble, it's not your fault. But how can I react to that? Okay, I might have lost 2 hours as a result of this, but can I get an hour down at the internet cafe and do something? Can I, you know, play it off my phone? These things happen, my guy. So I'd say that, my dude. 90G said, if you could spend time with one famous person, past or present, who would it be? And also, have you ever been stopped in public for a picture? Do you know what? That happens a lot now, you know. I find it weird, man. Ever since Carnival, towards the latter end of last year and this year, it's been crazy because I always get the support online and stuff. But I've lost count. Better people coming up to me like, yo, DG, I'm a good supporter. Keep up, keep doing your thing. And what I love about it is black man, white women, black women, you know, Asian people, you know, different ages. It shows how diverse football is, and it amazes me how, like, even a couple of times, one brother at Arsenal, one brother from Holland and Canada said they've seen my thing. I'm like, rah, like, it shocks me with the internet, like, how man can be in Serbia and these things, living their own life within their own societies, and all come together for a collective love of football. So I've been asked a couple of times for pictures. I'd say the one time it was Carnival when I really did, like, rah, we're making some progress. A couple people come up to me, and some guy and his girl, they're like, never give up, like, you know, don't ever hear you giving up, you bring a lot of joy to us and this and that. And I was like, rah, it's a mad thing. Like, the picture thing, I don't mind the picture, but I'm like, right, you want a picture of me? Like, I'm just making YouTube vids and that. Cool, I'm down to earth and that. We'll do this picture thing. I get used to it, but yeah, man. Them things there make me really want to go harder and bring the best product I can for you guys, man. Hats has said, what inspired you to be a football fan? Good question that I can't directly pinpoint on anything. I would say, you know, football's in my family. Like, my uncle's always been a mad football head, RIP. Big reason as to why I like football the way I do. So I'd say that. Apologies. Difficult one. Mixture of everything. Just being in England, it's #1 game. Uncle and family, like I said. Playground, you know, you want to be able to play football. You want to be good at football. TV and that. And watching football more time. Yeah, I'd say that really. Just coincidental social reasons, really. Just because I grew up in England where I believe football is #1. At least I believe football is #1. And I'd say that, and obviously family influences. And I think everybody's got a real passion in life, and I think football is mine. Like, I've always had a passion for football, but I remember when, like, I started to look at football from a tactical point of view, and all the stuff you see in my videos. It was almost like Philip Lahm and Pep Guardiola. My old coach Darren, the black Pep Guardiola, he's bowled too like Pep. Can't speak highly of him. I thought I knew football, like, he took my brain and went bang. And I remember he was in training, was doing shadow play, and I was holding one of the posts, and he said something, and it's like the penny dropped. I really understood football, and I was there. I was like, "Now, Darren, you're beaky, you know. Like, you're making this make so much sense." Him, Arsene Wenger, and the obvious, but I'd say him and Arsene Wenger are two of the big reasons I see football as I do, people. And I believe if society was different, Darren would be at a top club coaching and stuff. He's a personal trainer as well, so go check out his thing. But yeah, man, I'd say that. Ryan has said, thoughts on tennis. If you have any spare time, watch Stan Wawrinka. I think I've seen him play. I don't mind tennis, my guy. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to watch tennis all day, every day. But if Wimbledon's on, for a couple matches on, I can watch it. I like the endurance aspect, because they can be playing for hours. I don't know how to describe it, but boxing and tennis in particular, it's a singular sport, innit? You have a team, obviously, of coaches and trainers and things, but you're out there on your own. It's not like football. I can pass to my teammate. You're by yourself. So I try and look from a psychological point of view, what goes through there, and what could I transfer from that in my coaching arsenal to football and apply that. Because, of course, football is a team game, but there's individuals. You might have them moments of rallies in games where it's a fullback versus a winger. How can I tap into how he thinks individually? I'd say mainly for how can I understand people individually, and how I can pay attention to the individual as much as the collective is my reason for tennis. I'm not going to say tennis is a passion of mine and I sit here and watch it, but I will watch it. If you had to press me on another sport, I'd say the boxing thing is more what I enjoy, or UFC or something. So love for your question. 100% Gooner has said, do you have time for J. Cole? Do you listen to his songs? I don't listen to J. Cole every day. but he's decent. I find him a bit boring though, I'm not gonna lie. I have to be in a mood for J. Cole, my guy. Like, I gotta be in a sort of pondering mood. He's not one of them guys I can just flick on and listen to on my commute. I gotta be, yeah, man. You know, it's like that. It's a bit like Kendrick for me in Family Line. I can listen to Kendrick all the time. It's G Meda said, what is your advice to your subscribers due to the coronavirus? Simply stay home, stay safe. If you have to leave your house, only go if it's necessary. If you're picking up your utes, if you're going shopping, if you're handling your business, don't leave unnecessarily. And just government advice, really, in whatever nation you are, my guy. Just stay safe, man. I don't want you lot to die. I want you lot to live as far as you can and only die when the big man upstairs says we've all got to go, because we've all got a date somewhere. Yeah. Omar said, where do we go from here? I've never seen anything like it. This has been a terrible start to the decade, from the death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter now to this. I don't know, my guy. All I can do is say pray. And yeah, just pray to whatever religion you are. Just pray. Just stay with your family. Just remember what's important in life. Because unless you're like the queen or the 1%, you're not going to be cool from this coronavirus if an epidemic and food shortages stop. The royal family are calm. You see them moving to Windsor. If you're a footballer and you've got this, if you're not a billionaire, in my opinion, even some of them, if you're wealthy but not wealthy like that, like, you know, like footballers' wages, it don't matter how much money you have, because you hear footballers complaining they can't even get jail and these things now. So I'd say it's a timely reminder we're all human and not to look down on a man because of class or whatever he's been through and things like that. Because I've even been guilty of that myself in life, people. I should make this a separate vid, but I always say humble yourself before life humbles you. I've always been a humble lad, but I think I'd say from 2013 to 2016, I've had some real up and down periods financially, you know, trying to find jobs, family issues, all of these things. And people I might have previously looked down on in society or thought was beneath me or things, I really genuinely think God made me go through certain things so I can say, do you know what, I'm even more humble than I thought. I genuinely can't look down, because I've been on them. I've been to the bottom, people. I know genuinely how it feels to feel like dirt, less than dirt on someone's shoes, to walk on the high road feeling like less of a man, to not even want to see the man them, telling the man them you ain't got peas, they don't even believe you. They don't even believe. Go and even see. There's been many other examples. I remember one time I couldn't even cop a McDonald's, people. I remember one time in Nando's, everybody, like 20 man, all the man them went Nando's, sorry. And I've told you like this before. I'm sitting there with nothing. People like, oh, you're not getting it. Like, no, I'm not hungry. Brother, inside my belly is aching. And I'm sitting around people eating and whatnot. But that's what made me really feel like less of a person. I'm just there like, no one's there. Just I can laugh about it now. I'm just on my father like, I need to get some peas, fam. I need to get a job, but no one. I'm just getting turfed. We've had like 20-something interviews and that. We're still out here selling iPhones, and you know I had a little thing for oysters, and there was a couple other stuff we was doing out here, but it weren't. The income went up and down. Like, I'm living shysty. Like, any money I'm getting, I'm watching it carefully, like down to the last pound if it goes out and stuff. Like, genuinely thinking, you know what, the next step is licking man down, car. I'm getting turfed by everything. Society might be telling me, because of my demographic or because of who I am, fuck my ambitions, innit? Like, all my ambitions. That's how I genuinely felt. I always thought, I've got all this ambition, I've got all this drive, I've got all this desire to want to be better, but the world don't give a fuck about that. So why don't I just do what society, the book is played out for me? Like, you know, 4th Street is just there. You know, I'm an IC3, let me go out there. I know how to do this, let me get the like, or let me do this thing, really. And if it, you know, if it ends a certain way, which typically will, is what it is. This is the story, innit? Like, I'm like, it's sad. I genuinely remember not giving a fuck about my life, people. Like, I did not care. Like, genuinely did not care. Not on a apologies, people. Not on a bad boy thing or anything, because I didn't feel like I had much to live for. Of course, I knew I had a family. I had all of this stuff, but and a mother who loves me and all these sort of things, but just didn't feel like there was any significant to my life. So I was on anything. If you said let's run to the moon, run to the moon. If you said let's run up in there and, you know, there's peas there, let's go do that. Like, I'm not a bad boy at all, but is what it is. It's crazy, man. Next question. Apologies, my guy, man. I can't say your name, my guy, man. I don't want to disrespect you, but I believe it's Akasan. Forgive me, my guy, man. No disrespect. If I hear you pronounce it, I'll get it right next time. But you said, I've asked Dons not for football questions, but there's always one. We've started already. In my opinion, the league season should end straight away, and UEFA should cancel club competition next season rather than UEFA should just adjust the Euros between next season. League should continue as it is from next season if possible, along with UEFA Euros stacked within rather the CL and EL for a year. What's your opinion? I can't understand what you've exactly said, my guy. I don't think, especially cancelling Champions League for next season with the financial implications for it, I don't think many clubs will go for it. Any clubs will go for it. Of course, what you're saying goes beyond football, but I don't think it would happen. For me, I believe the first priority should be to resume the season when that can happen. Resume the season. The Euros has been delayed. I don't know how the start for next season would work because we don't know when we're going to resume this. Because can you imagine if we're playing until July? Isn't that when pre-season starts? The new season starts in August. So is it going to be, a quick turnaround? If so, there's always a risk of players' injuries. There's also mental fatigue as well. So it's a difficult one. So what else have we got? High Tech J said, what's your dream car? A Rolls Royce. A Rolls Royce, because that's what my dad's always like, man. And I've always wanted to get him one. So I'd say that. Rolls Royce, Lambo, Phantom, big Kia and all them things there. Land Rover, all them, them ones them footballers go, the big Kia there. That, really a Rari, if it came to a Ferrari, I'd say that. Or what's that one, if money wasn't a problem, what's that one Cristiano Ronaldo apparently beat in a race many years ago on Nike? What's that car, man? Is it, no, not Venom or something, I don't know, I know you don't know what I'm talking about. That car there, the fast thing, that would be that. Yeah. What other questions have we got scrolling down? Farhan said, do you still play football? 5-a-side. 100 Gooner has also asked again, J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar? Kendrick Lamar without a question by quite a landslide. Omar said, when are you planning to visit Kenya? What's that? Kenya, apologies. When you do come, don't forget to pass by. I'd love to, my guy, but when money permits, like I've answered already. And also, when this corona thing is put to bed, really and truly, my guy. Really enjoyed doing this Q&A away from typical questions, my guy, because I like to do anything that you can see my human side or see what I'm going through, because you never know what it can do if one person feels the same. Because I get that a lot of people are like, oh, I never knew you felt this way, I felt the same way, and I've gone through that as well, and I've seen other people talk, so you never know what you could do for people just by opening your mouth. So I like to do these things, whereas, don't get it twisted, I love to sit here and talk about Arsenal and young players and all of these things, but it's important to speak about things away from that. But on that note, it's always a pleasure, but all good things have to come to an end. People, Deluded, I'm out. Please vote for me to win the Football Content Awards. Links are in the description. You can vote on Instagram simply by just acting my username on their page. Equally, you can vote on Twitter and via their website. We've got until March the 31st, I believe, to vote. I just want to get nominated, my guys, man. It'll be a lovely highlight of 2020 already for me. So hopefully we can do that. Winning is another thing. Just happy to be there. On that note, though, people, God bless, stay safe. Thank you for watching. DG.